It's just Bruce. He don't bite. Hello.
Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about side hustles. You might be wondering, what's a side hustle? Side hustle is any kind of job or task that you can find to make a little extra money on the side in addition to your regular income, your regular job. When I was little, I was raised that if you want something, make it happen. You need money, go out and earn it. And I believe that. And I also believe, even though you might have a full-time job, it's always good to have a couple more lines in the water. Another one of my dad's sayings. That way, if you lose one line, you still got another one. So with that said, I'll give you a little history of why this is important to me, and I think you might get some help out of it too. From 97 to 2010, I had full custody of my daughters from my first marriage. We got divorced in 96, and I got full custody. She, not going to badmouth her, that time's long gone. She just couldn't take care of them. So as it ended up, I got full custody of my daughters. They were 3 and 4 at the time, and I had full custody of them. Well, never lost custody, but they grew up now. Now they're like 30. Ooh. Yeah, but they did good, by the way. But anyway, from 97 to 2010, that's 13 years I had full custody of them. I was by myself, and I was out working full-time. I was doing the chef thing full-time, and I always had other ways to make money because it was just so hard to make ends meet. It just was. You guys know what a chef makes by now. It's pretty much paycheck to paycheck. You got 2 kids to take care of. I couldn't get any benefits or anything like that. But, it is what it is. We got through it. My daughters learned how to take care of themselves. But I always had stuff on the side. Case in point, if I was full-time chef, I had a DJ gig at night, too. So I would be able to go out and I would DJ, play music, karaoke, and that's how that started. I did that for 25 years. That was one of my side hustles as an adult. But let's rewind back to when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was taught early to have side hustles. Always had something. It wasn't even a side hustle. I was only, 10, 11 years old. And my sister had a paper route. And my sister was 7 years older than me. My sister had a paper route, and she just decided she didn't want to do it. So she kind of left him hanging. My dad wasn't happy with that, so my dad started doing it. And I'm like, I want to do it. So I ended up doing it. And it was an easy one, too. All I had to do was go up to the local mall and deliver the papers to all the stores in the mall. And that's what I did. My dad would run me up. I'd run around for an hour delivering papers. And I'd get a little money, a little money in my pocket. A little money in my pocket for a 10-year-old kid. Hey, that'll buy some Star Wars toys, won't it? And I think it's what I used it for, too. So that was my first side hustle, I guess you could call, because, I wasn't allowed to work. I was only 10. And but also back in the 70s, what we used to do, and I don't think you can do this anymore like we used to. You can still do it, but not like we used to. We used to go around and collect aluminum cans out of people's garbage. People would give us aluminum cans. We'd put them all in trash cans, and we could take them to the grocery store. And I think they paid like 10 cents a pound for them, so we would get that money. And that's how we earned money as little kids. But growing up later in life, I'd be working. I had a real job. And the first side hustle I ever did was car detailing. And it all started, somebody asked me if I want to make a couple bucks washing their car. So I'm like, yeah, sure. I grabbed my bucket, my mop, and went over, and they brought the car to the house and drank beer with my dad in the back porch. And I did the car, and and by this time I was probably, I had a car myself, so I had to have been about 17, I'm thinking. So I washed the guy's car. He gave me $50 because I did it inside and out. I'm like, oh, okay. That was a pretty good deal back then. This would have been 1984, 1985. And I got to thinking, I'm like, I could do this a lot. And so I started doing it, car detailing. I remember back then I did it for $50 a car. Nowadays, if you got a bucket, a sponge, and a couple chemicals, you could get between the car detailers are getting paid anywhere from $100 to $300 a car. So say you knock out 3 cars on your day off, 3 cars on a Saturday, nice sunny Saturday, you get some appointments, you knock out these 3 cars, boom, boom, boom. Let's call it right in the middle, 200. Let's say it's $200 a car. So $600 you can make in one day just from cleaning out somebody's car. And I got to the point where I was going to people's houses. It was a mobile detail service, I called it. I'd go to people's houses and I'd wash the cars there, use their water. I just had to bring my soap and stuff like that and vacuum it out, use their electricity for that. Boom, got paid. Go to the next house, go to the next house. And I would do that on the weekends. And I was cleaning up. So I can imagine today what somebody could do. Also, I told you about the DJ thing. I'm telling you about the ones I did first, and then I have other ones that I'm going to mention here that you can do today, and they're all legal to do, as far as I know. They're all legal to do. You got to make some extra change sometimes, but these things can actually, if you organize it right, there's no overhead, and you can make money. I already told you about the DJing thing. House cleaning. There's a friend of mine. She goes around part-time on the side. She has a job. She goes around part-time on the side, cleans houses. Same thing. You just need cleaning stuff. And she goes to people's houses and cleans it. I'm not sure what she gets paid, but she always has extra money. So that's another thing you can do to make extra money. Then into the more of the stuff that I do, I don't clean houses. I'm too messy for that. This YouTube channel that I'm using, I get a little bit of money. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's about $100 every month or two. I use it mostly to advertise my eBay store, Jenner Custom Toys. That's also was a side hustle until I decided to retire from cooking. So now the eBay store is pretty much my main income. But I'm okay. I'm like ready to retire. House is paid, cars are paid off. I got a hell of a savings. My wife and I, we're ready to just coast out the rest of our life. I'm only 55. I don't believe should retire when I'm 65 because personally, I don't think I'm going to live that long. Well, I'll live to 65, but I'm like, no one lives much further past that in my family. So, I mean, who wants to work their entire life just to have maybe 2 years to enjoy, and then you start getting sick? Nobody wants to live like that. So, Oh, flipping stuff, restorations. You can go to a thrift store or a garage sale. Garage sale's even better. And you see maybe, I don't know, let's just say an end table. See an end table, it's all kind of scuffed up and everything like that, and they only want like $5 or $10 for it. You can take that home, learn how to refinish it, spend a day refinish it, and sell it because make sure it's good quality. Sell it for like, you pay $5 for them, you might be able to sell that for $100. And you put some time into it, it gives you something to do. You're making money, no overhead. I do the old Kenner toys and stuff like that and some antiques. I restore those and then I resell them. Some of them on eBay, some of them I keep. There's decent money in that too if you have the time to do it. What I did do right before COVID was I was just getting into it. I know how to work with wood and stuff like that. My dad taught me well. I had a resource of free pallets. Now, if you know what a pallet is, a pallet goes on when they lift things in warehouses and stuff like that. A pallet is the wooden thing that they set the boxes on and stuff to carry with the forklift. I got a hold of a bunch of them. I had a free resource, so I started making stuff out of them. And one of the things I made was, well, let me show you a picture. So this is a set of outside furniture I made, and it's the kind of stuff I did for those years with the free pallet wood. You can see there's 4 Adirondack chairs there and a coffee table to go with it. I not only made those, I made cornhole boards. I made all different kinds of things out of this free wood. It took my time. I could bang out a set like this in about a day, and I would sell them $125 a piece, and that was back then. So they're more expensive now. That's something else you could do, quick side hustle if you need to make a little bit of money. All you got to do is just learn how to do it, and it's really not that hard. I swear anybody can do this. Unfortunately, Halloween is over now. That bums me out. Halloween's my favorite holiday of the year. And the last thing I hate doing on Thanksgiving, or Halloween, the last thing I hate doing on Halloween when it's over is taking down all the decorations I put up. And we put up a lot of decorations, and I just hate taking them down, but you have to do it. Good side hustle. If you have neighbors, especially the older people, knock on the door if you know them, talk to them, say, hey, how'd you like me to take down those decorations for you, get you ready for Christmas? You would be surprised how many people will give you $20-$30 for a day's work just taking down their decorations and packing them up. Nobody wants to do it. A lot of people are all into putting the decorations up. I'm one of those people. I love putting the decorations up. Taking them down, I hate it. So honestly, if somebody would have come to my door this year and said, hey, Mr. Jennings, would you like me to pack these Halloween decorations up for you, or Christmas decorations, or anything that people really deck their house on, I probably would have said yes. And years ago, I probably would have been the one asking, hey, I'll do this for a couple bucks, whatever. Good, honest thing. I know some of these sound dumb, some of them, and if you're sitting there thinking you're beneath this kind of work, well, then this video is not for you, because this is the video for people that want to make some extra money to have that little extra cash when they need it. Because $20 doesn't sound much to do one house, but you do 4 houses in one day, there's $80 right there. That's not bad. It's either make that $80 or sit at home on your couch and drink beer. Or drink beer while you're doing it. Just don't tell them. Along the same lines of taking down decorations is cutting grass and snow removal. You can cut someone's grass all year long. All you need is a mower. Sometimes they'll even just have their own, and they'll pay you to do that. So an hour's worth of work right there, you get paid to do that. It's only going to cost you some gas if it's your mower, and if you're lucky, it's their mower and their gas. All you got to do is just do the work. Hour later, you got some money in your pocket. And then the same people during the winter, they can't cut their grass. They probably ain't going to shovel their sidewalks and driveways either. So that's something else you can do. And it's, and then they'll tell other people. Next thing you know, you're getting phone calls. The money adds up. All these little things, doing one thing here, one thing there, $20 here, $20 there. Boom. Next thing you know, you're making good money on these side hustles. And most of them are all under the table. My eBay thing is a legal thing. I do get $10.99. I pay the taxes on that. I haven't gotten enough money on YouTube to have to do that yet, but it's the same way. All these other things are just casual under the table cash jobs. This next one is disgusting, but in my area, I know there's services around that do this all the time, and they're making money. They're making money, and that is picking up dog shit in people's yards. I know it sounds disgusting, but if you got the stomach for it, and people are willing to pay you for that service, hey, why not? That could be a bag of groceries for you or something. It could be a pack of cigarettes. It could be a couple beers. It just be that difference of you walking out of the house with nothing in your wallet or having a 20. Some days it matters. Also, walking dogs. There's a lot of elderly people in my area. And I know the one right around the street, she pays some girl to walk her dog every day. It's easy. It's exercise. If you like dogs, it's great. So those are ones that I have either done or I actually think would be a good idea. Most of them I've done myself. I've never picked up the dog shit. I've shoveled driveways. I've cut grass. I haven't taken down the decorations, but I do think that's a good idea. Now we're going to get into stuff that I'm not really sure about. And it's specifically DoorDash, Lyft, and Uber, those types of things. I have a couple friends. One does DoorDash, one does an Uber, the other one does Lyft. And they tell me some stories about how it's almost not worth it, about getting bad passengers, people rude, people are drunk, people want to they'll get their food and they'll cancel, or they'll get their ride and they'll cancel when it's over, and then just causes headache after headache after headache because of the people you're dealing with. I don't know how I feel about those. So leave me some in the comments if you know anybody have you ever used an Uber or a DoorDash? I know it costs a lot of money, but I'd like to know. I've never used it before. But I am curious to see how that works and what passengers think. Or if you're a driver, just leave me a comment in there. I'm very curious to know about that. There's one thing that I wanted to mention when I was talking about detailing cars, and that is pressure washing. I ended up doing that for a couple people in the neighborhood a few years back. I was in my old house, and I had a pressure washer, and I was out doing the driveway. And neighbor come over and he started looking. He's like, wow, that's a big difference. And he's like, and we started talking about it and everything like that. And he sat there and watched it. And it is really satisfying to pressure wash something. I don't know what it is about it, but just to see that dirt come up like you're drawing on it, just really, really interesting. But he said to me, he's like, will that work on my deck? And he had a big, large deck in the back of his house. And I'm like, yeah, because I knew it would. He's like, I'll tell you what, he says, I'll give you a case of beer if you do my deck. And I'm like, well, okay, I'm a sucker for beer, why not? So, I took the pressure washer over there. It was a gas-powered pressure washer, by the way. And I did his deck for him. It took me less than half an hour, really. It came out really nice. He was happy. He gave me a case of beer. And then next thing you know, the other neighbor wanted me to do his driveway. He gave me $20. And then somebody else went. Then next thing I know, I started like 3 weekends in a row on pressure washing all these people's sidewalks, decks. I did a wall for some guy. He had a retaining wall. I did that, and I'm next thing you know, my wallet's full of money, and I'm just standing there going, all up. You tell him. I made a noise. It's okay, Daisy. It was me. Yes. Okay. Anyway, sorry about the interruption. But yeah, I ended up making like 3 weekends in a row. I'm doing all these little projects just in my neighborhood. And this was just about maybe 8 years ago. So I'm like, That's another side hustle that I wasn't even looking for, but that'd be a great side hustle for somebody. And if you're wondering how to get started, I was thinking about this. I was out there doing my driveway, and the guy come over, and he was just amazed at just the patch I had done, and that's what started it. So what you could do is talk to somebody, say, hey, you ever think about getting your driveway power washed, or a wall, or whatever you see is dirty? And when they say no, I say, would you mind if I just do a little piece here just to show you what it can do? And do that part for free, of course. After you do that little piece, their OCD is going to get to them. They're going to want you to do the whole thing. And boom, you just made your money. And you made it honestly. I mean, all these sounds like something a little kid would do, but they all add up. You know, one job, $20. Oh, big deal. I made $20 today. 4 or 5 of these jobs in a day, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them in a weekend. That's some money right there. That's for your groceries. That's for whatever you might need. Drinking money, party money, whatever. Okay, now there are some out there side hustles that are taking advantage of people, and these are the ones I don't recommend. I know a few people that have done some of these, and they're all the same principle, if you ask me. And that's stuff like Avon, Pampered Chef. There's some female friends of mine that are selling like hair care products and stuff like that, and they have this big spiel. They don't realize it's actually a pyramid scheme. They're doing all the work, and they're not really making any money. Sometimes they get free products for themselves, and that's it. There's no money in that. It's much more time compared to what money you're going to make. If I can make $20 for half an hour cleaning somebody's deck with a power washer, or I could spend all week messing around with makeup and going to somebody's house and doing makeup makeovers and stuff like that, spending all that time just to make maybe $50 a week, it's not worth it. So you got to think what your side hustle is going to be. It should be something easy, and you can get quick money, and it's got to be legal. Because I didn't even mention any of the shady stuff I did in my 20s and 30s. Because well, I'll tell you one. I did bounce in a strip club for quite a while. I did that for about 3 years. I don't know if I want to call that a side hustle or not, but yeah. And that's just to give you an idea what kind of shady. I didn't like sell any controlled substances or anything like that. I would never do that. So yeah, don't even get into that. That's not what I'm talking about when I say side hustles. So that's what I have for you today. It's about 20 things and how I feel about them, most of which I've tried, and tried them all successfully. I'm trying to think if I ever had anything fail. Maybe when I was like 7 and had a lemonade stand, that might have been a failure. I don't know, because neighborhood was, I didn't like me very much. I kind of have that problem now, which is why I don't have a lot of subscribers. Yeah, you should subscribe. Well, just saying, you should subscribe. So that's about it. You have any other ideas for side hustles, leave them in the comments. I hope you guys are doing good, and that's my video for today. I will talk to you next time. I've got a stack of ideas. I've actually been putting some time into this, thinking of videos, trying not to just keep them Star Wars, not to just keep them cooking, not to just keep them resin, just general everyday stuff. Trying to see what you guys like and what you don't like. So let me know, and I will see you next time. Thank you, and bye.
It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.